So we've got some roof damage on here. We're going to tear this up. Some damage underneath that AC right there. Tree had come down on it. We also got some damage on this here. This is a Premier. That's what this one is. So we got to rip the roof up and see what's going on with it. Looks like might have had a leak there. There's a bug too. But that's what they want you to check. Just keep that in mind when you get one of these done at the RV center. You get one done at an RV center, they'll have you go around and check all that. You can see right here, this has been breached, so we'll have to fix all this. You see how loose that is all up underneath there. You can hear it. You can see the piece flexing under there. So, and we've got this other one over here. We'll be showing you a lot about that one. That one's got some issues. We're just showing you this here now until we take it off. The antenna will come off as per usual, those crank ups. But we'll keep you updated on this Premier. We're back on this Premier. This is the way they're putting these coaches together, folks. No butyl tape. Nothing. They just put that on, put the screws in it. Oh, that's a leak. That cheap rubber. There's no butyl tape on the back of this. This is a longer stretch right here. There's that dent we got to fix. But here's the piece right here that was just taken off. Not one bit of butyl. That's the back side. This is the gutter side. Nothing. Put a little caulking on the top, you can see, but that needs to have butyl on there. So here again with the tape. That's all they do. Okay. That's what's going to compromise the roof. Drywall tape right here, mesh. That's all that is. See like that right there? That'll pinch the rubber. That's the metal. That's where they spliced it together. We'll be back. Something else that was brought to our attention. See this here? All that is just some threshold metal. But the owner had somebody put that on there because the pylon is too short. It's the way it came. It's too short. It doesn't fit. So it started leaking there, so he had someone put that in there just to make sure it wouldn't leak. We're going to get that fixed. These are new coaches. These are the way they come out. Silicone in there. See how that just rubs right out of there? That's why I do not like silicone. Already gone. And when silicone fails, you cannot put silicone on top of silicone. It just won't stick. Actually, nothing sticks to silicone. So we'll take a look at the coach. That's not part of our work order, but we like to bring some of this attention to the owner, so he knows what he's up against. And maybe he can have it done, or he may decide to have us do it. But that's just amazing right there. That piece. Same problem. Right up here. You can see it all buckling over there, so you can get a close-up on it. Alright, so we got the roofing off, and then I wanted to show you what they did here. You can see how much that moves. Crummy quarter inch. The other part is no glue. They didn't glue anything. Look, you can see the whole piece wobbling as I pull back here. No glue on it at all. You can barely walk on it. There was our damage from the tree branch. It hit the AC as well. So we're starting to get all these screws out anyways. We've got to replace this decking. So it's just it's not going to be strong enough. We can't even walk on it. That's where we're at so far. See if we got around the other side maybe. then this pylon doesn't even fit. This isn't brand new, but it's a new coach. Now it's got a shape to it as well. It's not supposed to be that way. I don't believe so. It didn't fit, and they had that pieces up there. If you remember the brass looked like threshold pieces. That's what we're doing now. Is just taking all of this out. There's the roofing, and we'll keep you posted. Trying to figure out this Premier here, why this back piece isn't sitting right. Let me come over here. Look at this. They stapled the bejesus out of it here, but it doesn't even fit up underneath this truss. Yet then it tucks up underneath here. See? It's not running right. But when this pylon, when it sits in a certain shape for a period of time, it will take that shape. I don't know if you can see how crooked that is. This got a good little warp to it. Not sure if that's something we can actually straighten out. It actually looks cupped. I'm not sure that's something we can fix. We're going to do the best we can, but we got to see what the difference is. It looks to me like they tried to pull it in because there's a gap. There's a gap in there. See the gap right there? So there's your pylon. So if this sits up against this, there's a lip here. There's a lip right here. So I don't think it'd get pulled in like that. It should have had a board in the back to straighten it out, and we may be able to do that and try and clamp it and we'll see if that will work. At least that's going to be my try. We'll see if that'll fix it. That looks terrible, not to mention it's also a leak. So I'd like to straighten that out. Let's see if we can, but you can see down here the same way. We'll take all this off. We'll see what we can do with it. That's what we're fiddling with right now. Okay, back over here at our Premier. We got this back piece. So now what we got to do is try to get this. We put another filler piece in there, and we're going to try and squeeze that because it was already shaped from the factory. So we're going to do that and straighten it all out, get that to fit. With the sharpness on there, you can actually see it kind of compromised. That's what these red heads do, these bushings. All you have to do is just insert it in there. We'll go right down in there. That's it. We'll reset that a little better. Probably easier to do it with two hands instead of one on the camera. But we'll get that in there. Then see if we got any more on this side. Is there anything else over here? Yep. Here's another one. Even these little wires, especially these little wires, that get compromised and they'll break. And the electrical ones right here. So that's why we put them in there. They just slide on down in there. That's it. Like I said, it's less than 50 cents what you spend on a coach, and they can't afford that. Daggum, they want every bit and penny that they can get from you. Then once this pops and the thing breaks, you got to tear everything apart to try to find that wire. You go, what was the problem? Ah, just a little pinch in the wire, shorted it out. Could have solved the problem for 8 cents. Hey, here are those bushings. There's 20 in a pack. And there's the 20 pieces, so you get 20 of these in here. So here's the receipt. And if you look, these are right there, 2 at $1.59. 2 at $1.59. 2 packs, that's what we bought, 2 packs at $1.59. So just we'll take 159 divided by 20. There you go, 7 cents a piece. That's how much they are. It's just about 7 cents a piece for that to protect the wires. And you probably need about maybe 5 or 6 on the entire coach. So you're looking at what, maybe 35 to 42 cents, less than 50 cents for the whole entire coach to protect the wires. Alright, we got the roof deck on, got all the screws in there. You can hear we're screwing it all down. This was an aluminum truss assembly on here, as you saw earlier, so obviously we couldn't staple that down. Well, we got a whole bunch of these Durarock screws, is really what they are. Backer board screws. Those will hold them down good. So we got one more piece going in. Got it there. This is our Premier. This is a slide out. I just did this myself, but it did have this cut right here. And then the tree knocked a hole in it right here. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to open it up. It feels a little wet in there. I want to get that dry. And then we're going to get a new roof on this thing here. So we're just giving you an update. We already got the roof on. We just don't have the curbs in there, but it's all rolled out. This nice tan color on there. Hopefully the camera will pick it up good. So we got to get our curves put on. So what we're doing now is just trying to get at this so we can see what's going on under here and get this dried out before the day finishes up. We'll get a fan on it. We are soaked. Look at all that. This is the inside of the slide out on this Premier. So in order to access what we do, we gotta fix. We gotta take all of this trim off to access all that. Okay, we got all of the front fascia off of here. And this is your roofing right there. That's it. And that piece are just sitting right here like this. That's it. You can see the way they terminated the roof. Alright, we took the fascia off of the front, and this is your roof right here. See all the debris, the leaves and stuff. That's how they terminated the roof. So it comes around, this is roofing right here, and all they did was bring it in. That's it. That's how you get leaks. So this one, on some of them we see they'll come up and they'll turn up like this. That's a better way. So when water comes in, the only thing keeping the water out on this particular one is this little piece right here. That's it. And if that gets compromised, it'll leak right down in here. It'll leak right down into your rest of your camper here. So, but we got to clean all this up, and then we got to make up a piece for it. Okay, so this is our slide out. We got, it's a metal pan. That's what we made up. Instead of putting that same membrane on there, when you get inside, you have one on the inside like this, back in there, and it turns up. Then you have to take the roof and you have to turn it up. And when you do, right where that curve is, you have to get it to fold, and it's a pain in the tail to try to get watertight. So what we did is we made a whole box assembly up, and it goes back in there. It actually raises up about 3 inches. So I think it's going to be real hard to get 3 inches of water gathering up in there, that's for sure. So this piece comes down to here, it gets folded. This piece gets folded behind this one. It's folded down. So this is all metal. Don't have to worry about it. We just got the same color to match the roof. We're pretty close. So now what we're doing, we don't need to do this. The only thing I don't like, and that's what we're cleaning up, this is the original. They had this white on there. It's just white tape. It just looks terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up. And then what we have is some black tape. I'm just really putting this on so it looks good. That's really all it is. We're going to seal this as well, but the tape will get all that. It'll be fine. But I just want it to look a little better than what it does, instead of looking at all that. To me, it just doesn't look well. So that's what we're working on right now. But this is heavy gauge metal, the same metal that's up on our shop building on the outside, where that's over there across the way. It's that same metal that's on that roof right there. Like I said, I just got it in this same color here, tan, to match. So now we started to put in our screw cap cover, which is right here. We've got butyl behind on this termination bar, and then we've got our glue in here. You can see it right there. It's just caulking, really. And then we're going to put this back on there. This will be all watertight. Obviously we'll get caulking on here, clean this line up. That's just a marking line. When you do commercial roof, that's actually a weld line. It tells you what to weld to. It's a 2-inch weld line from here down on a lap joint. But we'll clean all that up because this is commercial roof, it's not RV. But it's just ink, we'll wash it right off. And the other thing we're going to do is we'll seal this as well and put this gasket back on there. It'll go right back up on like this, and we'll get that sealed up. So that's what we're working on right now. We've got everything up here all mounted. We've got all our curves welded in. We've got our stand behind our air conditioner. You can see the flange. We'll come back a little bit. You can see that flange that we've got up underneath the air conditioner. Brand new gasket, actually brand new AC, because the tree had hit it. We got our hoods on our vents. Got all our plumbing done. That's an antenna. And we've got plumbing right over here. We got that all welded in. Same with this one. Now I'll show you a better video after we're done and show you how everything looks. But I'll just kind of give you an overview of this right here, this slide out. Okay, so this is our slide out. We got, it's a metal pan. That's what we made up. Instead of putting that same membrane on there, when you get inside, you have one on the inside like this, back in there, and it turns up. Then you have to take the roof and you have to turn it up. And when you do, right where that curve is, you have to get it to fold, and it's a pain in the tail to try to get watertight. So what we did is we made a whole box assembly up, and it goes back in there. It actually raises up about 3 inches. So I think it's going to be real hard to get 3 inches of water gathering up in there, that's for sure. So this piece comes down to here, it gets folded. This piece gets folded behind this one. It's folded down. So this is all metal. Don't have to worry about it. We just got the same color to match the roof. We're pretty close. So now what we're doing, we don't need to do this. The only thing I don't like, and that's what we're cleaning up, this is the original. They had this white on there. It's just white tape. It just looks terrible. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up. And then what we have is some black tape. I'm just really putting this on so it looks good. That's really all it is. We're going to seal this as well, but the tape will get all that. It'll be fine. But I just want it to look a little better than what it does, instead of looking at all that. To me, it just doesn't look well. So that's what we're working on right now. But this is heavy gauge metal. The same metal that's up on our shop building on the outside, where that's over there across the way. It's that same metal that's on that roof right there. Like I said, I just got it in this same color here, tan to match. So now we started to put in our screw cap cover, which is right here. We've got butyl behind on this termination bar, and then we've got our glue in here. You can see it right there. It's just caulking, really. And then we're going to put this back on there. This will be all watertight. Obviously we'll get caulking on here, clean this line up. That's just a marking line. When you do commercial roof, that's actually a weld line. It tells you what to weld to. It's a 2-inch weld line from here down on a lap joint. But we'll clean all that up because this is commercial roof, it's not RV. But it's just ink, we'll wash it right off. And the other thing we're going to do is we'll seal this as well and put this gasket back on there. It'll go right back up on like this, and we'll get that sealed up. So that's what we're working on right now. We've got everything up here all mounted. We've got all our curves welded in. We've got our stand behind our air conditioner. You can see the flange. We'll come back a little bit. You can see that flange that we've got up underneath the air conditioner. Brand new gasket, actually brand new AC, because the tree had hit it. We got our hoods on our vents. Got all our plumbing done. That's an antenna. And we've got plumbing right over here. We got that all welded in. Same with this one. Now I'll show you a better video after we're done and show you how everything looks. But I'll just kind of give you an overview of this right here, this slide out. Okay, this is our roof. Pretty much done. What we're doing now is just dolling up some of these. When we had filled them, sometimes they settle, so we just want to make sure they're topped off, get them nice and tight. And then we've already got caulking down here on this turn bar right here. We put the tape on here. We're going to put another bead. If you do it, the black is just a different animal. Sometimes it'll leave a mark, so we want a nice clean edge on the black. The white we can clean up better, but the black, the dye in it, sometimes it'll stain. So that's why we want to try to do a nice clean bead, and then we'll peel it off right here. So, but the reason we go around it twice, there's already one layer on there. And the reason we go around it twice is because when the caulking comes down from the assembly line through the factory, as it's coming down, and they're filling it through here, and they put a plunger in the back right down there, inevitably you're going to get air pockets like that one right there. It doesn't matter the caulking. Now Lexol's a good brand, but it's a good demonstration because it's so clear. You can even see a few at the bottom right there too. So what we don't want to have happen is have an air pocket up underneath here somewhere. So we're going to run another bead on it. The chance of having one air pocket over another is going to be real slim. So that's all we're doing. Otherwise, the rest of it's all done. Everything's all set. And maybe we'll get this slide out because we're going to hit that with another layer, and we'll give you a view of that. We put a metal pan in there, but everything's all done. We've got our flash piece right there, all welded in. And again, we got this one here. We're just going to do some cleanup, make sure it's all set, covers on there and so forth, and then just make sure it's all wiped down. But it's ready to go. It'll go today in a few hours. There's our second layer going on. See it right there. Okay, so this is us. This is our roof. So we got our little stand up underneath there. Cleaned up all our little boots so they look nice and clean. Went along it with a second layer of caulking on the whole thing. Got our flash piece up in the front. So we're about ready to roll. Got our buffer strips in here. You faintly see them right here. We had put a solar board on there. I think I showed you that earlier. Then what I'm going to do, I'll get down the ladder and I'll go over there and show you the slide out, how we put that pan in there. Okay. So here's our pan that we made. It goes all the way back up inside there. This was the tape we were showing you earlier, and the only reason we did that was because when if you go back in the video, you'll see it would just look bad. That just looks a lot cleaner. We double sealed this as well. This is metal, so it'll be much better to have that than any membrane roof on there, especially since this one does not have a slide out awning on it, and it was easier to put in. So we double sealed everything on here. That's us.
That's right. I do.
You are certainly welcome.
That's great.
I think it came out real well.
Have a good, we'll catch you Sunday.
Yeah, we will.